Okay, so I apologize. My wife is on the phone in the other room and is talking really loudly, and our roommate is downstairs in the basement speaking Latin very loudly. So I apologize if this interrupts. I would play music, but that might be frowned upon. Um, Actually, you know what? Maybe if I do, where is the cord here? Let me see if this helps. I have a little fan here to cool off the laptop. Hopefully, that's not too distracting, too much white noise. Okay, so I'll put in all the normal stuff that I put in. I haven't put too much into this PowerPoint because it's a lot of discussion. So now that we're going to start trying to meet online, we can go through this a little bit more easily. A lot of vocab. There's a lot. Most of it you've seen already in one form or another. So I'm not going to go through every single one. I will go through them as we go through the PowerPoint. But I will include also another PowerPoint that has little GIFs of all of them. And if I'm missing any, let me know because I think we have them all in there. Major. You probably learned this major and minor. Major is on top, minor is down below, and whatever your dominant hand is. Okay. So there's little icons in here. I don't know if I can make this any bigger. I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That may be a little bit easier to see. Okay. So literature, right? Lit. In Rochester, they used to use this sign, lit. I don't know if they still do, but it was because they hated lit class. So, but lit will be a handy sign. Interpreting. History. Remember, from the past to now. History. Similar to the sign for hurry, but it's not rushed. Unless you're studying Russian history. Um, or depends on where you are. Deaf studies, deaf culture. Some people are recently in the last few years complaining about the sign for culture. If it's done with a C, a lot of people will do it with an open hand. I don't want to get into that big discussion right now, but ASL is an evolving language. So they're making some changes within the culture to try to get away from English and signed English, which has been the bane of their existence. This chair keeps turning. Okay. Sorry, cat. Science in general is this. It's two circles next to each other. And it's almost as if you've got beakers. Chemistry, biology. Generally, any science is like this, except for like computer science, political science, linguistics. Now, I know linguistics, this has now become the fashion for language. It used to be this. So notice how I was just talking about ASL changing. Linguistics, or the study of language, structure, Linguistics is one there. The vocab has been changing over the last, say, 20 years because ASL is a new language. Math. Now, I've also seen math being like this, math, but most of the time I still see it with M's. Medicine. Um, Pre-med, right? Before med, pre-med. Um, Also, nursing. If you're studying nursing, it used to be more of an N. Now it's more just a U, actually. So nursing, um, psychology. It's the letter psi. So it's a Y with an extra little tine in the middle, more like a fork. Law. Trying to think if there are other variations that they want. Political science. Um, Most of the people who really know political science just sign politics, studying politics. People who are following English tend political science, poli sci. Counseling. The way it was explained to me is imagine there's a desk and you're giving advice over the desk, right? Counseling. I learned sociology or sociology, social studies, right? Study of society. Um, I've also seen sociology. I think the book does this one. Architecture. I've seen build house or build structure. I've also seen design because it's actually more accurate. The architect doesn't do the building, the architect designs it. So design building, design house. Engineering, you're measuring. So electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, any others. Economics, money with an E. Sometimes you'll see economics, but it really means money. Most of the time, if I see this, it's like and economics, changing of hands of money. Budget, I've seen budget. Again, it's a B. IT or information technology or computers, computer science. Business. Business. It's also time for busy, right? Busy. The Alice in Wonderland's rabbit. It's hard to see the pictures. I'll put GIFs in so you can see them. Big brain. So, he knows. His brain has an extra lobe on front, filled with that knowledge. You mean really big brain? Ooh. Can have skill. Oh, he's good. He's smooth. He's good. Skill. And technical, people will oftentimes sign tech like this. Tech. If someone's just really good at something, has a talent for it, also sign for expert. Pooh. In some places, this means soon, because it's just a little bit forward on the timeline. But for this, it's like, oh, boom, he's poo. Use these to describe people you know. On a video, like, okay, they're fun. Other side of things, knows nothing. 0 on the forehead, right? I'm dumb with things like that, or I don't know how I don't know what I'm doing with those things, right? Boom. Like think. I think part of the reason we do this is a similar reason we sign dumb, like this. How do we emphasize a sign? If someone's happy, oh, I'm happy, right? if we exaggerate the sign, right? But we don't want to do the same thing with sign for stupid. It's kind of stupid, or oh my God, he is dumb as a box of hammers, right? You don't want to go whack and knock yourself out. So we use a sort of proxy forehead in the other hand. And the last one, opposite of skilled, is unskilled or inept. And you take the letter O, put your thumb in it, and you bring it up. Unskilled, inept. I've seen it down, but I don't see it that often. I see it most of the time up. My friend thought growing up that this was his name sign because his dad always signed it at him. Stop touch, come here. So I like using that as his name sign. He's not happy. Clumsy. I like to look at it like chicken feet. So awkward. Oh, I'm clumsy. People will sign walk like with the threes as opposed to the open hand. I don't know why, because it always looks awkward to me, obviously, but whatever. And last but not least, can't. I'm hoping you've seen that before. I just can't. Right? Unable to, that there's an obstacle, whatever. So a good way of practicing this is to compare notes on someone you're talking about. We go back a lot to who are you quarantined with? How would you describe them? Give a topic, any topic. Pick a topic, any topic. Yeah, that one. Oh, ASL. Any topic. Just sort of practice with those and levels of intensity. What is it you're good at? This will come up in conversation a lot. So it's better to prepare and have some answers ready. So what are the things that you're good at? What are the things that you're interested in? What are the things that you're bad at? There are so many I can't narrow it down. I'm not playing a song. So there's just throughout the course, normally these are things I'd bring up on the screen and we would talk about them in class. We'll try to do the same thing online with them. So we've gone through all these. And I'm going to post anything from the book and anything from the videos on this. So as you go through this PowerPoint over the next day, as I put in the slides, I'll probably do them tomorrow morning before class. But I want you to think about how do you describe the people in your life, and how would you talk about how skilled they are, how unskilled they are, what are their positive and negative attributes, and then what are the signs? Speed, fast, slow, many, few. Few actually is finger spelled, F-E-W. It comes from finger spelling, few. So few. And here's one thing I've noticed. I've noticed several is the full hand up to 5. Few is just 3. Or barely any, just the little beep, 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 beep. Problem solving. What's a sign for problem? We know difficult, right? They're all sort of like this. Problem solving. Problem melts, right? And wonderful, extraordinary, jaw dropping. So be thinking about stuff like that we can talk about in class and when we do breakout groups. Breakout groups, not break-up groups. Sorry. Then the next step is, if someone doesn't know something, what would you recommend for them to do? How would they gain that knowledge, gain those skills? Maybe go find someone who has those skills. So that's that next level of conversation. Remember, we go back to this sign. More and more, we're going to start focusing on what do we need to do for the portfolio at the end of ASL 4. And it's this. So if you're talking in your interview with Dr. Hogue or Vickery, Steve Vickery, and I don't know, Vic loves video games. So if you're talking to him and he says, "Oh, I'm horrible at this game," boom, the light bulb goes off. You say, so be thinking about what's the next step, what's the question, what's the answer that will take you forward. In the portfolio, the more you lead the conversation, the better it looks for you. If you just sit back and go, "Ask me a question, I'll say yes or no," or "I like chocolate." If that's all you're signing, we're not seeing much. But if you're expanding on things, then it's more impressive. And it's nothing you can't do. You already do it all the time in English with many more complicated thoughts. All you have to do is be a little bit more confident in doing it in ASL, and practicing conversations like this will help. One of the differences between the portfolio and the ASLPI or the SLPI is that in the portfolio, we're asking for the knowledge of what you can do. The ASLPI is going to push you to where you don't know information and are literally like pulling it out of your butt. So I want you to be thinking of, how can I develop these skills of saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to talk about something positive. I want to talk about something negative. I want to talk about something, how to fix something. I want to talk about how to break something." So all conversational skills we already have. And then we're back to all of this vocab. We're going to start to need 2 slides, I think, for vocab. So that is, that's 11.1. I'm going to add in more videos into this, but because I'm not playing them here, it's not worth recording them right now. But they will be in the slideshow. Cool, that's 11.1.